everyone and welcome to the Unsaid Fled. In this video we're going to be talking about this book called Mahashweta by Sudha Murthy. And Sudha Murthy, as we know, is a prolific writer in English and Kannada, and this book is certainly a masterpiece I'd consider, and I would recommend each and every one of us to read this book. Like, even if you're not a reader, you should read this book because the story that it tells, it's important. It's important to learn something from that story. It's important for all of us. I mean, there's usually no limit to what fiction can teach us, but this book certainly teaches you a lot. So when I read this book, I figured out that it's trying to tell us majorly about two things. If I generalize it, then I'd say that the first one is that whenever you're making some very important life decisions, then you should think twice. You should not make really hasty life decisions, because then it might cost you later. I mean, there can be one person for whom you are ready to sacrifice your family, your religion, your career, everything. But what if that person turns her back against you? Then what will you do? So this is one thing that the book has stressed upon. And secondly, and I'd say more importantly, this book talks about the exclusion of some people from the mainstream society. And if I generalize it, then this exclusion can be based on anything. In real life, it is based on your religion, it might be based on your caste, it might be based on your financial conditions, or to be very, very general, it might be based upon the way you look, or how your accent is, or the sort of education you have received. You know, the factors which you can't control, you are excluded on the basis of those factors. And this exclusion can have a lasting psychological impact on any person, an impact to an extent that they might think of ending their life. So if I can be precise, then I'd say that this book is very sensitive. And one thing, the sort of exclusion it focuses upon is the exclusion of people based upon skin disorders. The exclusion based upon leukoderma specifically talks about. So you will follow the protagonist called a lady called Anupama. And when you read about Anupama, you'll get to know why is the novel called Mahashweta. Mahashweta was actually a character in Ban Bhatt's novel. So there was a novel called Kadambari by Ban Bhatt, and there was a character in that called Mahashweta. And from that character, the title of this book is derived. So you will get to know the story when you will read it. You will be following Anupama, who has this fairy tale marriage to a guy she likes, but then she discovers that life is not as easy as it seems. Then she discovers that the society which actually seems really good, the customs, the rituals that we have, they actually seem very happy, very joyous to all of us. But then, you know, if you are somebody who is excluded, then you'll get to know how harsh this can be. So this is what majorly the book is trying to teach us. I'd say it's really an inspiring story of courage, a story of courage in the face of betrayal, in the face of disappointment. So yeah, and also it sort of offers a hope to people who are victims of various prejudices in our society. So yeah, this was about the book. If you have already read this book, drop your views in the comments. If you haven't, then find it, give it a try, it's worth it. And if I find the PDF, I'll attach it in the description. And if you have any suggestions for any books I should read, then please drop them as well in the comments. I'm really open to that. And for more such content, stay tuned to the Unsaid Fled, because that which remains unsaid will be spoken here. Thank you.